So explaining talents. This because it just lets you bypass armor. This because it lets you use your stealth abilities while not stealthed. Vigor just for the increased energy regen. Soothing Darkness for the heal prey on the weak for the increased damage whenever cheap shotted. This for the increased shadow dance damage, and this for the energy regen that you get. We'll go on this guy here, because it's just one guy. So we want to open with Shadow Strike, get our Knife Blade off. Once we get that Knife Blade off, I mean, we can either Shadow Dance or not go in Shadow Dance. There I didn't go in Shadow Dance because it wasn't really worth it. But the openers, for the most part, are the same. It's most of the time just Kidney Shot, and then get your Knife Blade up. And then once you get your Knife Blade up, you can do stuff off of that. Why am I not stealth, though? Why am I not stealth, though? What's breaking me out of stealth? I don't know what is, but something is. So we'll go on this Mistweaver. We're pretty much gonna get disarmed, and we'll Trinket that. And then we use cooldowns and Shadow Strike and Envenom. We'll go on the Boomy now. I'm actually just gonna run. See if I get kicked out of stealth again. So the burst macro, or not burst macro, burst rotation's kind of just whenever you Shadow Dance, you can pretty much use Envenom at 5 combo points, but you want to stun lock as much as you can in between it. I mean, stun as best as you can, and try and live as like just be annoying as much as you can as well. We'll go on that Resto. Seems like they're actually peeling for their healers, which is disgusting. Like that. I'll try and do something here. I'll stun him. Shadow Strike and Venom. Keep on Shadow Striking. Pretty dead. Yeah. So the burst, Shadow Strike, and Eviscerate for the most part. And then always make sure Nightblade's on the target. Nightblade just gives you a 10% damage increase. And so once you get Nightblade on the target, you want to pretty much Shadow Dance, and then Shadow Strike, and Venom. Or Eviscerate, Shadow Strike, Eviscerate if you can get those off. And then just stun every time. Just stun a lot. That's how you do it. Yeah, anytime I pop out of stealth, I'm just getting demolished. It's the Boomy power right now. Please, no. We'll see if anything else happens. Dealing 10% less damage. I don't know what that's from, to be honest. We're gonna use Cold Blood here. Oh, we'll actually try and burst this Druid a little bit. So, cheap shot, get our Knife Blade up, use Shadow Strikes to build that up. He's either gonna just live here, or just die. Okay. That's the preferred one. They are putting up a good fight. I do want to go on that healer. I'm gonna go on him. So again, cheap shot. I'm gonna Kidney him here on the Shadow Dance. Symbols of Death. Cooldowns. Shadow Strike, Eviscerate, Shadow Strike. That's about all I can do. I'm gonna go on this Boomy. Shadow Strike, Eviscerate, Shadow Strike, Kidney, Eviscerate, and he's dead. So that's the most you could do, pretty much. I don't want to go on this Mage. Let's go on the healer. It's gonna Kidney him. Shadow Strike, Eviscerate, Shadow Strike, Eviscerate. It's just dead. So the whole point of sub isn't for the damage really, but it's for the availability of your cheap shot in just your normal rotation. And that's pretty clarified in the talent. There's a talent that pretty much makes it so. See how hard he bursts me. That's a Mortal Strike. Okay, let's try and burst this guy. Gonna Symbols of Death. Shadow Strike twice, Eviscerate, Shadow Strike, Eviscerate. Probably gonna cheap shot here. I should have cheap shotted him and he might have died there, but that was my mistake. We'll go on him again. There's nothing like a second chance at greatness. I'm pretty dead here. Mistakes were made when I actually tried to use some defensives there. Like lock cookies and stuff. But, I mean, Sub Rogue, it's nice. It's nice if you, like, don't get eliminated as soon as you come out of stealth. The whole point of it's just to set up very hard with cheap shot, and then just have that damage immediately after. The fact that you can just spam cheap shot's the main reason you take it. It's this spec over Assassination or Outlaw. Cold Blood and a Phantom Assassin pretty much give you very, very high damage and very high crit chance. You pretty much crit all the time. Like, if you're not critting, you're doing something wrong. We'll go on Nelly, I guess. Probably should have gone on the healer. But he's just never... There's no point in me bursting this guy, really. I feel like that's my thought behind it. We'll go on this dude. We'll burst this guy. Cheap shot. Shadow Strike, and Venom. Shadow Strike again. Like, that damage is so nuts if you can just get it off. Kinda want to go on that Boomy because he's shitting on everyone. Those self-heals are nuts. I love how I have to stand in that berserking. Out of every BG, I just have to stand in the berserking, and there's BG for really long. We're about to get all these. I believe that's the healer, so let's open on him. I'm gonna kidney him here. I lied. I'll go on this guy. So pretty much cheap shot, eviscerate. I should have cheap shot again, but that's fine. Don't know why they're using every cooldown on that guy, but they are. Okay. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Well, I mean, what a BG to showcase Sub Rogue. Not really explaining, I guess, the best. But I'm attempting. I'm doing my best to explain horribly. I'm gonna Nightblade. I'm just gonna see if I can one-shot this guy. So, Shadow Dance, Symbols of Death, pretty much Shadow Strike, Eviscerate. That's it. That's kind of the combo, whenever you get down to it, after you get your Nightblade up. Just be sure, you're like, whenever you kidney someone or cheap shot them, they're gonna be taking 10% increased damage from all sources, so that's just a 10% damage increase on the target. So that's something to keep in mind. Especially on healers. I don't know where that... Okay, whatever. So very rough explanation of Sub Rogue. There's not really much to it. And then the one that requires less skill from this, I say Sub is the one that requires the most skill, and then Assassination, then Outlaw. But all you do, I mean, you get Nightblade on target with 5 combo points. Once you have that damage increase and the healing reduction, you can pretty much Shadow Dance, Cheap Shot, Shadow Strike, Eviscerate, Shadow Strike, Cheap Shot, Eviscerate, and that'll pretty much just bring anyone to fairly low health. And that's